Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. I'm here with day 2 of 30 Days of Sketches, series 13. The sketch today is by Jessica Hill. I love this sketch, you guys. So many options for multiple photos, all different types of takes. There are some amazing ones already in the comments in the Facebook group, so make sure you check that out. The link for that is down below. I'm going to be using some photos from vacation. How gorgeous is that view? It was beyond amazing. It was a little hike we went on. So got larger photos and then smaller ones. And I think we're going to focus in on these small ones, obviously. But my plan here is, I'm kind of trying to debate how I want to do this. Okay, I think the plan is going to be to use these two. So I've printed them down smaller. So we'll do these two on the side and then we'll trim these into little squares. I'm not sure if we'll use the selfie of me. We'll see. And then we're going to use the scraps that we pulled from day 1 that we didn't use. And obviously we're not going to use all of it, but I have it here to go ahead and work with. I think my plan is really going to be to highlight this piece here, and so we'll bring in some colors to go with that. I think that will be how I'm going to go about it. All right, so anyways, that is my plan. I'll get you on fast forward and we'll see what I can come up with. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and tear off 2 pieces of the same pattern paper. I'm going to use both side A and side B. I was looking to see if I was going to do a green border around the whole thing. However, these photos are about the blue and how amazing the reflection of the mountains and the sky were on the water that we were at, this lake. And so I decided to not do that, but I'm going to go ahead and tear this. There were a couple words on this particular part that you saw me trim that I wanted to kind of highlight, so I cut accordingly to make those work. And then I'm going to layer in my photos. Now, like I had mentioned, my photos are taken. We went to, it's called Falls Lake, and it is a little hike that you can take when you're driving up. It's called the Coquihalla, and right after the snow shed, the next exit you can take, and it's called Falls Lake, and you have to go on about a 20-minute hike, and it's a really nice hike, and then you just appear out of the woods to see this magnificent untouched lake. It is amazing. When we were there were 3 other people that were there enjoying coffee. I think they might have camped there that night, and they were heading out. And so it was super quiet. All you could hear was nature. There weren't very many people on the path, and it was just amazing. So if you're in Canada and you've ever done the Rockies and done like Lake Louise and, all of that sort of thing, it's not comparable in the fact that the water isn't like that blue that you see in those images, but it's comparable to the fact that it's that stunning. Like, it is just so pretty, and it's just one of those things that this is like a hidden gem. And so if you are ever in BC and you are driving up anywhere into the interior, make sure you search and see if you can manage to take some time out to go ahead and visit it. I highly recommend it. So I got everything lined up. I have my photos. I kind of like flipped the sketch, right? I kind of rotated it so I could work with the photos that I have. I'm doing a little bit of mixed media. I wanted to do something so it wasn't just quite so stark onto the white. And again, I haven't scrapbooked in a while, right? This is the second layer I've done since kind of quote unquote coming back to scrapbooking. And so I was just going with it. I'm happy with how it turned out. It was fine. But again, I'm not a mixed media expert, so I just kind of do my thing, and thankfully it worked out. I did put gesso on it, so it was good to go, and I'm just using my watercolors and a little bit of water in a blue, and then I will go back in with a little bit more of a green teal color to kind of make it work. And I did have to go add a little bit more because of course you're going to add your photos back on and then it covers all the work up that you did. And I'm always afraid to add too much, but I never end up adding enough. And so I'm going to do that, kind of play with it. And then for the embellishments, I am going to take another nod from the sketch from Jessica and add in the little leaves and stuff because this is, you know, nature. And so I went ahead and just grabbed a few from different collections that I have. I think one was Jen Hatfield and one was, actually they both might be Jen Hatfield, just different collections possibly. I feel like that might be correct. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of layer these all in. And I'm going to title it what it is, which is Falls Lake. I'm going to add a few sequins to this layout, and I go through my stash because, again, I'm trying to stash bash a little bit here and get through some of my stuff. I'm still in the middle of a spending freeze that is going strong. It'll be a year come up November, and the only thing I have spent money on that is scrappy supplies would be December Daily because it's the one caveat I have every year. So I did really good with my spending freeze, which is awesome. I'm also going to go ahead with my black pen and draw a few lines just so that there's a nice border. These two sides, because there's not much going on there, I found them to be a little boring and blank, and so I wanted something there. I also grabbed some of these faux stitching. They're from Pretty Little Studios. I have had these forever. I'm so close to being done with them. I have a couple of these blue and a few pink left to do. So I used 2 of the blue up, and I'll now just have 3 pink and 1 of the little like cross stitches in the blue. So those should get used up hopefully in this series as well. I'm going to use up some of the cork kind of pieces that I have. I think I use some of the X's, and in the end I do end up adding another piece just because I'm trying to find balance with what I'm doing. I like the florals, but everything's pretty flat, which is fine, but I felt like it needed a little bit more dimension, and so I'm trying to find that in whatever way I can, which is where the embellishments came from. They were all just hanging out in a drawer kind of together. I grabbed a big stack of embellishments that were in packages and kind of flipped through them until I could find the ones that worked best. And here's where those cork ones are coming from. So yeah, these are just little X's, and there's 4 of them, which is weird because I like, you know, I like to do things in visual triangles, but I felt like that worked fine. They were in different places and it kind of moves your eye through the page. And then I have some more of these Rosie Studios. Now these ones are vacation themes. I think it's actually called vacay. And I'm going to use quite a few of these. I use both the blue and the teal little word phrases, the word unplug, and then I'll also use the little geotag as well, just so I can get those used up, and that they're on foam, so that really helped bring in the bit of texture that I was kind of craving for this layout. And I think all in all this works really well. I have a nice kind of array, especially with my photos, you know, the 2 kind of main photos I want on the larger ones, and then the little square photos of all of us. Barrett doesn't have his own square photo, but because this is going into our vacation, there will be layouts that are just about Barrett. So I felt like him not having one just dedicated to him was okay. He's in the big photo of all of them looking out at the water. And I figure, you know, that's good enough for me. I'm going to take my black pen and do a little tracing on a few more little pieces, because now that I've got the tracing on the outside, and I'm going to do my journaling with the same black pen, I just wanted there to be a couple more places where it kind of popped out. And so all the cork pieces are going to have a bit of black tracing around it. It's subtle, so it's nothing too much, thankfully, but it's enough to kind of make it look like it should be that way. And I like how that kind of wrapped up and just kind of tied it all together. I'll add my journaling and I will add in some sequins. And other than that, that's going to do it for today. So here's a look at my finished layout. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye, everyone.